Hey guys, what happens when you get a 100K hustle and one of the biggest, baddest SBA lenders on the planet, if not the world for that frankly matters, done more SBA loans in the United States than anybody else, and that is Sue Malone. So got these two together today, had a great conversation with them. Michael over here is crushing it, doing the private label on Amazon, and then Sue brings to her expertise, which is lending to small business owners that are out there. She's got a program, not going to steal all the thunder. It's over $350,000 loan. She's able to give out unsecured debt. So if you're out there and you're needing money to get your business off the ground and get it running, it's a great opportunity to link up with her, as well as Michael talking about his community and what they've actually done with the loaning, getting money out to their members in order to grow and scale their Amazon businesses around their own private label business. So I got a conversation between the two of them today. It's like three planets aligning, which is really rare. Michael comes to us from his background in selling within his community over $100 million worth of products on Amazon, all private label stuff. He's sold multiple brands off. He's gone from broke to Bentley and back again, and he shares a little bit of his story about questions and stuff like that for Sue that he knows from his experience. So a guy who's actually out there in the trenches and doing it. And Sue knows a lot, obviously, from lending. She's in the middle of speaking to Oklahoma State University about vendor and entrepreneurship and sharing how they can get access to capital. So, guys, got an exciting conversation. Go ahead and tune in, listen in, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Movement is for physical product sellers. The 100K hustle is for print on demand. So that's going to be designed to get young people who are coming out of school, out of college, to understand that entrepreneurship is a career path.
Yeah, and
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's huge.
He's over on the other side of the water in the UK area. And are you in Scotland? Is it, Michael?
Yeah, Scotland, Bonnie, Scotland.
Yeah. So that's where the accent's coming from. But he was actually just here recently in Las Vegas, doing a show basically where he had a huge event where all these individuals came in who were selling hundreds of millions of dollars on Amazon. Some of the people are selling $1 million worth of stuff a day. And they brought a lot of guests in from all over the country and all over the world, flew in just for this event to talk to Michael and talk to the people that were there on learning how to really scale a profitable Amazon business. So I wanted to connect you guys, and I'm actually going to have this recorded, Michael, so you can put this in your mastermind if you want or something like that later.
No problem. Excellent. Let's go.
Yeah, Sue, tell us more about what you're doing on the loan side of things and how you could help people in the community and what you'd be looking for to be able to loan members in his community money.
Okay, perfect. Well, congratulations on all your successes. That's truly amazing. There's a lot of people that have funded on Amazon, but they're not coming close to what you're doing. Wow. I haven't even had my coffee yet, and I'm blown out of the water.
Thank you very much, Sue.
Yeah. So what I do is I fund small businesses based on working capital, what their business is making, what they anticipate to make, and can they pay me back? It's got to be a for-profit business. And it's got to be a legit business, and they can't be selling things that are illegal. So I fund, as I said, I fund a lot on Amazon. I've had a lot of people come with a lot of illegal stuff. I can't do coochie kind of stuff on Amazon, sex toys and all that kind of stuff.
Coochie. That doesn't sound right in a Scottish accent, does it?
Yeah.
And because, as you know, Amazon will kick you off.
Yeah, I know. Amazon will shut you down faster than you can say Amazon, put it that way. And they're starting to turn their little smiley face upside down for a lot of sellers because they're making it so difficult. And I think what they're doing is Amazon's a data company first and a distribution company second. Amazon's not a marketing business. And Amazon's game plan, in my opinion, is that they're using the data that is being generated from online sellers. They're slowly but surely creeping up their holdings on the Amazon Basics line by moving into many different niches. They're getting internet marketers and sellers to validate that niche that they can then go into and create Amazon Basics lines round about. But there is another, that's fine. But what sellers have got to realize is that just putting something up on Amazon and thinking it's going to fly That's not going to work anymore, as I was explaining to Daryl before you came on the call, Sue, is that you have to be a digital marketer all round. You can't just be an Amazon marketer anymore. Gone are the days. You need to understand how to drive traffic externally. You have to be able to understand retention marketing, retargeting through the social platforms. And if Amazon has social reference signals that you can trigger for every product that you launch, and if Amazon sees external traffic sources, it's going to give you the precedence in search. So like that's a clear indication Amazon doesn't want to spend big money on digital marketing, because if 85% of its real estate is owned by, you know, FBA, fulfillment by Amazon sellers or merchants rather, why should Amazon spend the money when the sellers can go and drive all the traffic and create new databases for Amazon who are not already on there, right? That's Amazon's very smart move. And the sellers that get that will continue to dominate the platform. The ones who are struggling are the ones who, in my opinion, think that they can just put a product on Amazon and that's it. That's never going to happen.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, because I've had a lot that have tried that. And you've got to be the marketer on it. You've got to drive people there. And it's with any online sales.
Yeah, you know, it's any online business. The print on demand is a new movement. I think using print on demand with no inventory is a great way to get a young kid who's just out of college, trying to find their way in the online marketing space, who doesn't want the daunting task of going to China and getting his own inventory and all of that other stuff. There's many other ways you can use online arbitrage or retail arbitrage and buy brand name products. And Amazon allows you to market on brand name products if you pay a $1,500 release. And assuming that the brand says, yes, I'll allow you to sell Under Armour, for example, then you can go and buy and sell Under Armour to build up your database, to cut your teeth in that marketplace, to build up your knowledge. But that's, again, another step up from print on demand. Getting your logo, understanding how a customer will react and accept your brand, then understanding how you can get that audience to buy your brand over on social media and that interaction and that brand relationship. That's where I think print on demand is the new movement for younger kids who are coming up, and also to realize that entrepreneurship is, in my opinion, and I think in most people's opinion who are entrepreneurs and in the online space, is it is a career path. Because I left school with absolutely zero qualifications and I'm self-taught on everything I've done online.
Yeah, but you're willing to learn too, because a lot of people get nervous and are not willing to take the next step. And you're willing to do it. That's the other thing.
Myself and Daryl were talking about this, and Daryl is obviously big on the NLP front and the psychology. He's amazing at that. And the biggest problem and hurdle for people is themselves. They don't believe they can. They think online is so daunting. The difference between the 7-figure marketer and the person who's not sold anything online is the 7-figure marketer went and took action and done something. That's it. He researched. He found the product. He put it online. He done the research. He got the sales. You can do the exact same thing. This game isn't a mystery. A lot of the information is on Google and in YouTube. And if you want to put in the hours and the shift to be able to learn and gather and build your knowledge bank and move in the right circles, the sky's the limit for most people, in my opinion, Sue. But a lot of people don't want to. They think, myself and Dan were talking about this, by paying money to learn, that's going to magic the results. They think that, okay, I've paid for this, now I'm just going to sit here and it's all going to flock to me. You've still got to put in the work.
You're absolutely right. And it's a lot of hard work. And people think it's going to come easy to them. If they pay for something, they just plug and play. But you can't. Being an entrepreneur, you've got your ups, your downs, your ins, your outs. You've got some products that never sold at the very beginning. You got stuck with it. So you did a shift change. And that's 3/4 of being able to adapt and move forward and not worry about what the person next to you was thinking. Go do it. I'm so tired of excuses.
Yeah, learn, adapt, and execute. Those are the two, or learn, adopt, execute, and adapt, right? Those are the kind of footholds that you want, or the steps that you want your students to take a foothold on. But whether or not they do is really, you don't have any control over people. But going over what you're doing in terms of releasing funding for sellers, we have a pool of 257 elite sellers I've got a new mastermind that I'm starting in October this year, Sue, where there is venture capitalists coming in, like yourself, who have got money where they want to back a brand. And our software system is being designed in line with a US patent attorney and European patent attorneys, or lawyers, if you want to call them that, in Europe. And basically, if the brand is Amazon registered, our system can basically ring fence the trademark in line with a contract agreement that the lawyers will draw up, and our VCs will spend the money to buy the inventory. So we don't give the money, we won't give the money to the actual entrepreneur. We'll buy the stock from China and we'll sit it in one of our holding hubs. And because we've got eyes and ears into the trajectory of the sales patterns of what the sellers are doing through our software, which those guys willingly know, and they share their numbers with us so that we can see they're growing anyway. But basically, we know what their projected sales are going to be. So there's zero risk, because the trademark gets ring fenced for the duration of the loan. So if there is any default, then basically you own the Amazon account. So this is one of the areas where us where one of the weaknesses that I see in the Amazon community is that, yes, you can get sales. This is one thing, is believing you can. But when you get sales, you need to be able to fund those sales. And if you have a real good product and you've got a real clever know-how online, and you take to the strategies that are being shared with you, you can outgrow your profit percentage. For example, if you're making 30% profit and you grow at 60%, then you've got a 30% deficit that you need to fund.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
now, most of your sellers, where are they? UK based? Are they United States based? Where are they based?
All over the world. We've got students from Australia. We've got students. Most of them trade in the United States in .com, Amazon.com, and .co.uk, and in and throughout Europe, different parts of them. But yeah, I mean, regardless where they're based, they're mostly selling in Amazon.com.
Okay, because I can only loan companies based in the United States and or in the UK, because I just am putting together a fund in the UK with one of my partners. So I can do the UK a little bit, but mainly the United States, because the UK fund is not totally up yet. It's kind of imploding right now, so I've got to fix it. Okay,
so why don't I get you on an interview, probably a week on Thursday after Daryl. I'm going to be in California, so I'm going to be in your time zone, I think. I don't know how all you guys, I don't know how you deal with that stuff. I mean, in the UK, there's like, that's it. You get Eastern Standard, West Coast Pacific, you've got all these other stuff, and I'm like, please specify a time inside the group, and you're like, I don't know what time it is. I need to go Google it. I don't know what time it is where you are in the US. But so anyway, California, we can a week on Thursday, and we can get together and potentially do an interview with yourself and introduce what you're doing to the group. We introduced a new insurance policy to the group last week, where it's an Amazon insurance policy. So if you get your account shut down, they back you up to $1 million until you get your account live again. So we've put that in place through Lloyd's of London as well. We've put that in place into our group, and we were approached to present it to the sellers. So there's lots of really cool packages that are coming out of all of the volatilities that are happening with Amazon. But ultimately, what the sellers really need to understand is that these are just safety nets, and they are just, again, the more safety nets we get, and Daryl will agree with this, the more willingness people are to take the leap, because they know that if anything happens, then they've got that safety net underneath them. If they grow too fast, they can get funding. If their accounts get shut down, they can get covered for their income. So that's the sort of stuff that we want to start out the gate with and grow accordingly.
Perfect. That sounds great. Would love to. Are you going to be in Northern California or Southern California?
Now you're asking me again. I mean, hold on a minute till I spin to my map. Well, I'm in San Diego.
Wherever he travels.
Yeah, so
he was just in Dubai last week. So
San Diego. That's why I've got a map behind me. That's where normally when I switch the camera off and then I spin my seat round to go, right, where am I?
What city will you be in, Michael? Do you know what city it'll be?
San Diego.
California?
Yep.
Okay.
San Diego.
Yeah.
So
Sue's around the San Francisco area. That's about 4 hours north of there.
yeah, I mean, you're up near Napa Valley, where this wine tasting place, right? You're up near the near wine country.
Yep.
Went on
That's
many
right.
wine tasting tours at Napa Valley. Walked in and staggered out, Sue.
I bet you did.
As a Scotsman
Pretty
does.
darn terrific.
So Sue, tell Michael a little bit about what you're looking for in the ideal person to lend money to, and some of the different programs, so he just can kind of tell the group a little bit before you get on the call.
Oh, yes, super. Absolutely. What we would talk about is, if it's a startup business, we're going to look at what you feel their projections are going to be, what you feel that they're going to be able to make. I know you can't guarantee anything. If they're already a seller and they've already set up their business, I'm going to look at what their historical cash flow is and also what the projections are, and then loan based on that. Let's see, they need $100,000 to buy inventory. I could fund all of that to buy inventory. If they need another $100,000 for the marketing side of it, it can fund that. If you stay at $350,000 and under, it's much easier to get through the system. I can go higher, but it just takes a lot longer and a lot more red tape to get there. The loan is going to be in the business name. It's going to be amortized over 10 years, no prepayment penalty. It's going to be 6.25%. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks if everything lines up and I don't have, rest records or all kinds of oddball things that pop up. And then they can use it any way they want to use it in their business.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
One of the areas that we are going to be doing is part of the mastermind, Sue, is we're only going to be working with, I've got a brand portfolio of 36 products at this moment in time that I will accelerate towards 100 products next year, or between now and next year rather. It's incremental because it takes a while to establish them and do the research and the keyword research and competitor analysis. So we've got 100 products that we're going to be working with, that I'm 50% ownership with the brand partners. And our objective is my team and myself do all the marketing for the product, and we accelerate it. So that's where we'll tug upon people like yourself to say, okay, we've got 15 brands that are really moving quickly, Sue. Here's our projected figures. And the figures that you get provided will be factual figures from the Amazon Seller Central account that we can validate for you, or I can validate for you, because we've got eyes and ears into the Seller Central's account. So there's nothing can ever be falsified in our network. So
that's fabulous.
So that's what I mean. So we've got a crystal ball of exactly where they're going, their growth rate percentage. Was it seasonal? What was the keywords that was driving the sales? Was the keyword seasonality? What's the keyword seasonality like? Because that's another indicator for seasonality in terms of dip, so that it protects you from a lending point of view. And we've got this thing on lockdown, Sue, but it's one of the reasons why I've kept my movement so small, is so that we can test and measure, because we are almost beta testing with our own sellers right now to find out what's working and what do they need, what do sellers really need. Because I could easily have filled the group up with 1,000 subscribers at $2,000, $2,500, whatever, but that's just too noisy. You really can't siphon through there and get a one-to-one. You can't get the intimacy going that you need in order to find out, okay, who are the great sellers? What are they finding? Because every seller, regardless what niche they're in, regardless where their sales level is, they've all got different hurdles and they're all experiencing different challenges in their business. And that's where we step in to try and find out what is it, and we get involved and try and create solutions round about it. And once we've got all of that on lockdown, which we should have by next year, then we can roll a program out that's got, had your account shut down? Not a problem. We've got insurance for that. Need growth funding? No problem. We've got cover for that as well. So these are need to index at the top of Amazon. Fine, we've got a solution for that and a system for that. So these are all of the pieces that we're putting together, and also giving a DEXA scan to the members of how deep the ocean, or how far the ocean you have to go to hit the ocean floor. Right, sometimes in the digital market space, you see this ocean of information and you don't know where to jump in first. So you end up in this cycle of always learning and never implementing. So we show the students how deep and how much knowledge you need. And that's the reason why the brand partnership is there, so that you can choose to either be the marketer or become the investor and just say, actually, I'm going to roll my dice with you guys because you have been there, done it, and you are teaching this stuff. So that's where the two differentiations come in the platform.
That's amazing. Now, did Amazon, do they call you and say they've got people that want to sell on it and they join your mastermind group? Is that how it works?
I wish they did, but they don't. I don't. I think there's lots of really good marketers out there, but one of the things that attracted myself to Darren and Darren to myself is our transparency. So I bat off from a position of transparency and honesty, and I think there's too many people selling numbers without the profit, and there's not a lot of realists out there that they're seeing this bubble and they want to ride on it. A lot of people are having a really good 6 months and saying, I'm an Amazon coach. Well, I've been selling online since 2006 in e-commerce, and being an Amazon business is one thing. Being an e-commerce business is completely different because you're juggling and spinning so many plates. And I know what it takes to succeed in Google as a search engine, on Amazon as a platform, and Facebook as a social platform, on Twitter as a conversational platform, as well as a marketing platform. So how do you put all of that together? That's not an Amazon marketer. People, the reason why the Amazon marketing thing is so easy, or the Amazon marketing bubble is so easy to sell, is because people sell it as you don't have to do nothing. Amazon does all the work. But Amazon they've completely shifted that entire movement. Whereas back in 2008, Daryl, 2009, you could put a product on there because Amazon was in data mode, so it was selling everything and just trying to find out what was happening. Now it's locking it down and it's making the marketers work for their money, or the merchants work for their sale. And that's what a lot of these so-called Amazon gurus out there are not being transparent and taking relatively decent money off of good people and not telling them what it takes. And that's why you're seeing this decline in people saying, well, I tried that and it's not working. It's not that Amazon doesn't work. Amazon's just changed. It's the education that doesn't work. They're telling you the wrong thing.
Yeah, because they didn't keep up with it. They didn't keep up with the change of Amazon.
And
Amazon's going to continue to change.
That's another indication of people who are not selling. The best sellers or the best coaches in this space, or the best teachers, I don't know, the best phraseology to call ourselves, I don't know. But the best marketers in this space to work with are the ones who have got their own portfolio. And you can say, show me your numbers. And if they've got their own portfolio, then the chances are they know how to make the sales work. They then know the volatilities involved. They know the best platforms to drive traffic from. They know the best keywords to use. They know how to outperform the competition. So those are the best movements that you want to be involved with if they've got transparency of numbers. And too many of these courses out there are taking sellers' numbers and saying, look what we did for them, when they didn't. They already had those numbers. So the courses are then coattailing off the back of that with no real substance behind. And the students are going in blind because they're following, in effect, what they see as the gravy train. And then there's this impact effect where they're like, hold on a minute, I'm not getting the results that they showed. Maybe I'm in the wrong niche. And then they start doubting themselves because, you know, the results that have been demonstrated and marketed, there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all on Amazon or in marketing.
No, I've just noticed that with a couple of the products that we have funded that went on, it is not one size fits all.
So
no.
I would love to.
It's a process, and it's learning, and it's constantly learning and keeping up with it. So congratulations. I'm excited to see how we can all work together. Thank you, Daryl, for bringing it all together.
Daryl,
you're welcome.
The object of good business is being a good middleman, and Daryl is the epitome of a really good middleman, of piecing everybody together. And that's what I was saying to Daryl, and again, because it's being recorded, Daryl has given me so much value over the years, just through knowing him. Never asked for anything. Never. That's the type of people I want to be around too. So if it's good enough for Daryl's introduction, then you're good enough for me. And I'd love to really get a breakdown on the call of how you can help the sellers and introduce you to them. And can I just ask what the company name is, Sue?
Yes, strategies for small business.
Okay. And it's basically 350,000 up to
And less.
350,000 less. Yeah,
Yeah. If
Yeah,
you go
and
over
that's,
that, it just gets too complicated.
of course.
Yeah, and that's the unsecured debt lines that you have, Sue, up to 350,000.
Right.
Correct.
And that's
Unsecured.
unsecured debt, and that is for unsecured debt. What's the terminology for that? Is that a proper broker as such? Is that going through the correct legal lending channel, Sue, in the US?
Oh yeah. It's all sanctioned by the U.S. government. The U.S. government backed loans.
Okay, brilliant. Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
could you explain real quick what unsecured means versus secured, Sue?
Yeah, the unsecured lending. If they own a piece of real estate, we're not going to file a lien against their personal homes. It's just going to be based on the only lien filing that's going to be is if they use any of these dollars to buy equipment. That's it. So it's going to be personally guaranteed, as in all small business lending is right now, and I don't see it changing without the personal guarantees anytime soon. So it's going to be in the business name with the personal guarantee from the owners, but they're not going to have to use their home as collateral. So that's why it's unsecured.
Are you part of the a U.S. government set up fund, or is it a private business, Sue?
It's all private, and what you do is private people put up their money, because we have pools of money, put up their money, and then we get a government guarantee behind it as long as we follow the government rules on funding, on their rules and regulations, and then we get a government guarantee behind it. So the small business owner always knows it's going to be in their best interest. So there isn't any monkey business that goes along with it. There isn't exorbitant interest rates. There isn't short term on the loan. It's all monitored, just like you're monitored on Amazon. It's the same thing.
What's the percentage on it, Sue?
It's prime, which is 3.25 plus 2.75. So it's 6.25 in today's market.
So 6.25.
Mm-hmm. Amortized over 10 years.
So
and the reason why it's
prime,
10 years is for cash flow.
So
can you explain what prime is real quick, Sue? So
yes,
he knows what that is.
Sure, prime's set by it's set by the Federal Reserve on the amount, the cost of money. Now, prime can move based on the Federal Reserve. If the Federal Reserve has a rate increase or a decrease, that means your rate can go up or it can go down. But the fixed part of 2.75 will always stay constant.
Okay, brilliant. So it's on around 6.25 anyway. Sue, this is absolutely amazing. Daryl, that's gold dust for our young cats.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we've got this situation where we're taking people from the 100K hustle to 6 figures in 12 months guaranteed. So those people who are building the brand and the brand relationship are then going to move over into the elite movement. And that's where the funding starts to trigger, right? So we'll have a perpetual flow of traffic to you from sellers at all different levels, at all different times of the year, especially the seasonal sellers. And then we've got the mastermind movement where we've got VCs that are lined up where they're just going to come in with their own money that they've got lying around. And we've got up to $6.5 million in a pot actually that's risen from $1 million at this moment in time, with VCs looking to sit around the table with the sellers who are really knocking it out the park, that are needing big volume in order to get over that tipping point and potentially lead themselves to acquisition. So we have got an all-round structure with great people like yourself. We've got the Lloyd's of London underwritten policy for the unexpected account closure that can happen for any reason if Amazon takes the notion to shut you down. So I think we've got a full 360 solution here for any seller.
Yeah, and it's
perfect. Now, on your VCs, the VCs that come in, are they based in the UK or are they based in the United States? And what percentage of the business are they taking?
I think
their equity injection.
They're going to be looking for, on average, around about 13% to 11%. So I'm trying to get them back to on and around the 11% mark. But right. Really, it's a short-term investment for inventory only. Again, like you, they do not take any security on homes. They only take the trademark as security. and that's part of a commercial agreement. So it's not lending; it's actually investment. So
Right.
That's the difference of the loss aspect of the law aspect of it, is it's actual investment into your business rather than lending. So they're looking for a certain percentage of the sales that are accumulated off the back of that for the duration in which that stock is held. And that will be, again, indicative to how fast they're selling through that stock, which our algorithm will be able to determine on when that stock is going to deplete, which might bring the percentage of sale back which they're looking for, or increase it.
Okay.
And so just real quick, so Michael has an idea. I know you don't know an exact number of how many loans you've actually done over your course in loaning money, but could you give him an idea how many people have you actually loaned money to, so he gets an estimate of a number?
Sure, about 30,000 plus.
And what's your full name, Sue?
Sue Malone.
Malone. It's a
Malone.
Malone.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We got to get your website updated, Sue. For Amazon loans available.
Hold on a second. We're looking for a loan from Sue Malone.
Yep. I like your sense of humor.
Did you change that by deed poll by any chance, Sue? Good, excellent. Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna run back to my sellers and get them organised, because we've got a couple of things that are happening in the group. Daryl, fantastic introduction. Thanks so much. And Sue, I'll reach out
Thank
to
you.
Daryl. If you can connect us with email addresses, then we can get that sorted.
Sure.
And what we'll do is we'll, for all the viewers that are going to watch this on YouTube, Daryl, for your viewers and listen over the podcast, we will put a direct link to give everybody access to the webinar, which is normally and typically reserved for elite members. So we'll happily put that link. And if you want to listen to the interview with ourselves talking and the sellers asking Sue questions that are related to their Amazon business, then we'll put the link and give it to you, Daryl, and you can give it out to the listeners.
Okay, that'd be awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks, Michael.
No problem. Anytime. And again, guys, thanks very much, Sue. I'll see you a week.
Thank you.
2 weeks on Thursday.
Super.
See you, boss.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.